Hey there, everybody. Welcome to our Power Book 2 Ghost Episode 4 preview theories. It feels like we have a pretty interesting episode coming up now that Tariq is like, all right, I'm going into Monet's operation. Whether she wants me or not, here I am.
Yep, and we even have Monet declaring it so.
We're going to get into all this. Before we do, though, if you guys enjoy this video, give us a like, subscribe to the channel. Be sure to check out our full review to Episode 3. That link is in the description. And if you do want to support us further, check those links. We have our store where we have shirts, mugs, and other cool stuff. And also our Patreon.
Okay, so this promo revealed quite a bit. We did have Monet at the beginning of this promo talking about the fact that Tariq St. Patrick is now going to be part of this organization.
And I still question whether or not this is the right move for her. I'm sure the dollar signs are going off in her head when she hears, oh, there's a bunch of rich idiots at this school who will give a lot of money. And, Tariq seems smart enough, but can she really, really trust him?
Yeah, she can't. So because she can't, she's decided that she's going to use his mom as leverage. And so now he's in this very interesting spot where he needs Monet to help him make the money to save his mom, but now Monet is also threatening his mom.
Yeah, and he needs to find a way to protect himself a little bit further, so Tariq's got to get a gun, and that is apparently a part of all this. I feel like Tariq has been in, proximity of at least, 3 or 4 guns already across Power, especially the original show.
Yeah, and I'm kind of surprised with what he's getting ready to do that he didn't think of this himself.
He's too busy focusing on writing Zeke's papers, seemingly. Maybe he's got some other stuff going on at school.
I'm assuming that because he thinks he's selling to rich idiot students that he doesn't need something like that.
That is a part of the problem with Tariq now, is that he's been conditioned, other than Tommy dangling him off the roof or so. Usually the majority of the time Tariq kind of ends up getting some of what he wants, even if some of what he wants ends up being kind of awful, like killing ghosts. But he's been able to emerge through a lot of different things, and I think when you're young, you're reckless, you don't look before you leap a lot of the time, and especially if you are going into this business, you need to be looking everywhere before you leap.
Yeah, he feels pretty invincible, and I mean, a lot of people at that age feel invincible. I mean, who are we kidding? But a lot of stuff has gone his way. The stuff that I'm looking forward to in this episode is now that Monet has said, listen, Tariq is part of this now. He's one of the new people that are coming in, so let's all work together. I'm very fascinated to see how, Kane and Drew, and we know he's got a relationship with Diana, but to see his relationship with the other guys and sort of, what is he going to learn from them? Is he going to learn anything? Tariq has this thing about him where he feels like he knows more than everybody. We saw that conversation a couple episodes ago that he had with Kane where he felt like he was schooling Kane, even though Kane's been doing this a lot longer than him. So I'm curious mostly about his relationship with Drew and what that might look like, because the two of them are both intellectuals in a sort of criminal world and are using more of their brain than necessarily Kane. The enforcer.
This is the thing, is that I think Tariq and Drew, they're either going to be best friends or worst enemies, because I think they're very similar in a lot of ways, and that may end up where Drew looks at him and it becomes a threat. Oh, this guy's going to come in here, take over my territory, and if Kane starts to listen to Tariq more than him, that's going to be a problem. I mean, I don't know if he's going to be able to act on it. We've already seen some hesitancy when it comes to that part of him, but if they can find a way to work together, obviously this could go from being just a certain geographic empire to being one that stretches more into other parts of New York. It could be very mutually beneficial.
Yeah, we've already just saw in this past episode that there is a little sort of pushback from Drew to Kane, where Kane had to come in and deal with everything, and Drew felt like he had it under control, or he was going to be able to have it under control, but he was pretty upset that he didn't have a chance to actually do anything like that. So if Tariq comes in and starts trying to slide into that spot, I mean, he's never going to be able to replace Lorenzo's son. I mean,
Yeah.
Drew is still going to be Drew, and that is still going to be the person that Lorenzo wants to be able to sort of take over the family business. He's not going to all of a sudden be like, now it's Tariq. I have all these children, but this child will be the one.
Okay, the part of this that I think is the most interesting in the promo is, Rashad Tate coming back in, and now Tate's in some trouble. Look at this now. You're getting dragged into this mess now, Tate. Is New York leading the way now, Tate? Like, I'm ready to see.
It is time.
I want the reckoning here with Rashad, and he's getting questioned, and I don't know how he's going to get dragged into this mess, but, he was around Ghost for a while, and I think the implication here is that if Tate was willing to have Ghost on the ticket with him, you gotta think he probably vetted Ghost a lot and knew things that he wasn't letting on to people.
Oh, Tate knows some stuff.
Yeah, for sure.
Tate has done some stuff. So it's not too surprising that if they're going to try to pin all this stuff on Tasha, that Davis is going to figure out some stuff that's going on with everybody on the other side. Everything is going to come out in one way or another. And even if everything's not exactly true, Davis said it best this episode, it doesn't necessarily matter what's true. We need to be able to sell this story.
Here is the problem with Tate, and I'm gonna try to put myself in Tate's headspace now. Just send me some positive vibes here, because it's gonna go down a dark path. But right. if I'm Tate and I'm sort of hearing all this, and I know what Tate is after, I think he's probably like, "What? You're telling me that Ghost was in a criminal empire? I heard not." Or he's gonna be like, I heard some of this, but James, he was afraid because he was hearing that Tasha was going to do some bad things to him. He was trying to get out. This man is going to try to backtrack of things so fast, he will backtrack at a faster speed than any human being has ever run to get out of this situation.
Oh, absolutely. And I'm here for it. I can't wait to see how he is able to weasel out of this, because so far he's been able to weasel out of everything.
This is the thing I'm most fearful of, is that we know already that Tate has a planned spinoff. I mean, granted, we know pretty much nothing about when it's happening or anything else, but if Tate's going to have his own show, obviously the storyline isn't going to end with Tate just, going away or being killed off or something else. He's probably, much to Tasha's chagrin, going to have, a partial victory in this.
Yeah, I don't really want to watch Tate in jail spin-off. It's not what I'm interested in. I like watching this sort of how he weasels out of things. So I think he's going to be able to weasel out of this and weasel his way right into a spinoff.
Tate and Sax, they are the dynamic duo of awfulness, which Sax isn't in this promo really either. Where is any of the Sax content this week?
I feel like he's going to be back.
He will be back inevitably at some point, and yeah. I think the same thing goes, obviously, for Tommy, and there's still not really all that much about, okay, is Tommy going to show up? I was also wondering if we were going to see some of Tasha's trial in the promo. I'm starting to feel like they're just going to, stretch that out as long this season as possible.
Yeah, I think we got all of this sort of mock trial stuff so that we could get a little bit of that, because they're definitely saving that. But the fact that she mentioned Tommy in that mock trial multiple times, there's no way that he's not going to be questioned, brought in, caught somewhere, called, I don't know what.
The thing I'm probably also excited just to build into more is that relationship between Lorenzo and Tasha. I mean, I know it's not like they can communicate all that often. They have a very discreet way of doing so, clearly, but we already know that Lorenzo is power player. He's about living as large as someone can while in prison.
Yeah, seeing that last shot of sort of Tasha sitting there and sort of one of Lorenzo's guys in the background clipping wires and sort of spying on her, it's very clear that Lorenzo has people watching her at all times. So that is bad for Tasha. That is bad for Tariq. It is good for Lorenzo.
It is good probably for all of us as viewers, because at least it's starting to feel like we have more legitimate danger kind of in every single direction. And all this to me is way more exciting than let's follow up on what's going on with Carrie, or let's take a look at Brayden's story again. And maybe these people will start to get more immersed into the story. But for now, I want the
Yeah.
criminality.
Yeah, it feels like Brayden is definitely going to be more into the story. We saw Tariq moving into his apartment or dorm or whatever's going on. So I feel like this episode, that stuff is going to really start to heat up for the two of them.
Well, let's get your thoughts, your theories on all of this. Where do you think we're going entering episode 4, let alone the rest of this season? Let us know in the comments, and if you do like this video, give us a like, subscribe to the channel, and support us further. Check those links to the store, our Patreon, and we'll see you here next time.